Good evening, everybody out there, or morning or afternoon, depending on where in the world you're watching this. This is Tony from Six String Corner, and guess what? I'm back. Yes, it's been about almost 2 months now since I've done a live lesson, so forgive me if I'm a little bit rusty, but we are back, and had a lot of life changes, a lot of things happen in a positive way over the last couple of months, so finally things are settled down a little bit where we can go ahead and give a lesson and show you how to play the guitar. So as always with all my lessons that show songs, I have in the link below, I have in the description, regardless whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, I do have a link to the Six String Corner tab library, which has a tab to this song that we're going to be doing today, as well as a whole bunch of others, and it's always added on too. So you can go ahead and sign up for that, and it gets you in. Like I said, all kinds of songs in there, riffs, lead riffs. You know, I got Rush songs, Eagles songs, got Peter Frampton, as I'm going to do here, and you name it, it's in there. So go ahead and click that if you need it. Also today, since we're going to be covering strumming, I've also got some. We'll talk about more about this a little bit later, but there's a strumming course that I have out there that will help improve your strumming. It's guitar strumming mastery. So you can just click a link down below if you want to just check it out for a little more information, find out what it's about and how it's going to make you a better player. And that's really what it's all designed for. And that's why we got these lessons here. So I'm here to show you a song. And so I hope you all are doing well. If you're watching this after the broadcast, and glad to have you aboard. Thanks for jumping on and checking this out. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm broadcasting live at real time, so forgive me if I do make references to what's happening at the moment. If you're watching, this is all about learning the song, so just glad to have you here. Be sure to leave a comment below or a suggestion if you're currently on live, and let me know what you think, if there's any questions or anything that you want to learn in the future. All right, so that's what I'm here for, to help you guys out. And so let's get started. So this is Baby I Love Your Way. This is by Peter Frampton. And there's essentially two versions of it. There's the original studio version, but most people my age, and maybe even those of you later that are younger than this age, probably know the live version from Frampton Comes Alive. And at the time, that was a blockbuster of an album that had all kinds of great hits, and this was one of them. So this is kind of the feel that I'm going for. I mean, it's really kind of the same on both, but this is the song that we're going to do, and it was really popular back then, a long time ago. So if you know it, great, you're going to learn it. If you've never heard of it, you're going to hear it now, and it's a great tune. The strumming patterns in this thing, if you're working on your strumming, is pretty much the same all the way through from beginning to end. So pretty close to the same all the way through. And there's some interesting chords that are also used through this, but they're really not that hard to play. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into intro, into a verse, into a pre-chorus, and into a chorus, because essentially it just repeats that several times. In the live version, there's also a keyboard solo that goes on, but still these chords are essentially playing behind it. So it's going to be pretty easy to do, right? So I think it'll be pretty easy. Hopefully it'll be easy for you. And if it's not, something to work at. And like I said, the Guitar Strumming Mastery down there, if you just check it out, there might be something in it that might help you out to become a better player. Okay, so just go ahead and check that out as well. So, all right, so let's get started. Here we go. So this, let's talk about the strumming pattern first, because it's going to be pretty consistent through 98% of the song here. And it really, what it consists of is a down, down, up, down, up. All right, that's our strum. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. So what you'll do is down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And I just take a chord. Just play a G right here, just to show you. So down, down, up, and then it repeats. So. So if you got to work on the strum, I suggest, instead of going through all the chords that are in the song, sticking with one chord. It's preferably something that's got all 6 strings. So this one, like I said, I'm using the G, and this actually is in the song. Just a couple things to note for those of you who are a little bit early on in your playing. So if I just allow me to do about a minute or two description on this one here. When you're strumming, a couple of things that you should do and don't do. The way I like to describe the motion of the right hand, of the strumming hand, could be left hand if you guys are playing lefty, but either way, it doesn't really matter, is that the wrist leads the arm. So you're moving the wrist, and as the wrist goes down, you're moving the arm down. And as you're bringing the wrist up, you bring the wrist up. What you don't want to do is have this stiff arm or stiff wrist here as you're strumming. That's probably not a really good technique. That is really not a really good technique. Or to just do just the wrist and not move your arm. That's good for when you're picking individual notes, but when you're strumming the guitar, you want to be out here and you want to really just let it rip. So, and then this song is no exception. So that's what we want to try and aim for. So anyway, what we want to do is work on that strum first if you don't know it. It's down, down, up, down, up. There's just only going to be, I think, 2 exceptions in this whole entire song where we're going to do something a little bit different. And the first one is going to be in the intro. So let's talk about the chords that are in the intro. And what this does is it utilizes the middle 2 strings are open the whole way. Yeah, something like that. So anyway, so we're going to open strings, and then move the pointer finger is going to move along the A string, and then the little finger, I like to use the little finger, it gives a little more space here rather than the ring, is going to also slide down, and we're going to go through a couple of different patterns here. So let me move the camera over here real quick, and we'll give you a close-up of this one. All right, so the first one, the first chord is going to be right here. Wait, hold on a second there. There we go. All right, so the first chord starts right here. We're on 10, and we're on 12. All right, so the numbers are going to be the fret numbers. And as I take this one sequence down, just remember that the middle 2 are open, so you are going to hear them as you're strumming. So it's going to go from 10 and 12 here. Then it's going to go to 11 and 10 here. And then you're going to take that exact same shape and you're going to drop down 2 frets. All right. And you're going to be down here. There you go. And we're going to be down here on, lost my track here, 7 and 8 with open in the middle. And then you're going to see this here. This is that's on the D string, so it's on the 5th fret. And this is on the 7th fret, and then down here, same shape, goes down here. This is on the 3rd fret, right there, 3rd fret, and this is on the 5th fret, all with the middle string, middle 2 strings open. All right, so we're going to do this this strum like this. All right, now when you're strumming this, we don't want to hear the 2 end strings. So I like to kind of mute those a little bit. I'd want to mute those strings a little bit. So the way I do this is the little finger right here is sort of sitting a little lazy and sitting on top of this E string. So we want to make sure that that's kind of muted. We don't really need to hear that string. And then the lower string here, at least initially here, we don't want to hear that either. And the way I do it, the way I like to do it is when I'm sliding down here on my pointer finger, I actually have that pointer finger touching the side of the low E string. Now, all right, that way, if you're really going nuts on the strum, you're really trying to get a full strum, and you accidentally hit these 2 end strings, you don't want to hear them because that's not going to sound good. So when you strum it, all right, you want to hear that open. That just gives it that open feeling, that really super cool open feeling right here as you strum down. All right. Now, one thing that you may need to work on just a little bit if you're still kind of new to this, you have to make sure that this pointer finger is going over, you know, you're not touching the D string, because you want to hear those two middle strings when we're doing this beginning part. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do that down, down, up, up, down, up. All right. So that's first chord, down, 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 up, down, up. Go to that next chord I showed you right here, down, down, up, down, up. All right. And then here's the one exception when we get to here. This is called the E minor 7 over D. This third chord is going to be down, down, up, 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 up. He only does it at this part of the song. Everywhere else, that the strum that I showed you is applies here. In fact, let me do this really quick for you. I almost forgot to do this. Let's do. I'm trying to do a split screen here, and I'm going to give you the tablature here. So let me find it. There we go. All right. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Let's try a different screen. All right, well, let me just do a bigger one, then I'll get back to me there. So what we have here is, this is the tablature that I have. Now this note here means down, this one means up strum. And this is this chord right here. It's called a G over D. You can look at the tab though, down, down, up, down, up, right here. All right, and that's how we're grouping the songs. Grouping the chords. Then the next one that I played, so the first one, if you can look on the small screen there, is that first one I showed you. That's right here. All right, the next one right here, this is called D add 11. We did that same exact strumming pattern. And then we went to here, this third chord. We just took that pattern and we went down, okay? Like I said, look, just check me out in the lower screen, in the little screen there for a second. I'll get to the big screen in a minute. And then you're going to sit here on this for down, down, up, up. There's like 6 ups in there. So it's going to be like this. So it's going to be down, down, up, 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 up. All right. And then you're going to go out of this, what's called the C add 9, and drop it all the way down to here. Oops, off the camera. Here's your third. And here's the 5th fret right over here. All right. There you go, right there. All right, and then we're back to the normal strum. Okay? All right, so I'm going to keep that on there, but it's going to be a small screen because I think you want to see how I'm playing this first. Okay? Okay, and I bet you didn't see all the notations there, but you saw what that was, right? So we have the 3 chords right here, and then we've got the this is one right here, which is the down, down, up, 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 up. All right, so let's get back to this. All right. All right, we'll get rid of the screen real quick. I'll come back to it because I think you need to see the whole thing here. Where are we at? Right there. Okay, cool. All right. So, so again, like I said, the tab, I have it in the link below, the 16 chord tab library. So you can, all this stuff right here, you can grab right there. So let's go back to this again. So we're going to go down, down, up, up, down, up. All right, and then we're going to slide this down to here. Down, down, up, down, up. And then we're going to go down, down, up, 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 up. And then drop this down, 3rd fret, 5th fret. Again, middle 2 strings are open. Back to the strumming pattern one time. And then we're going to do a B minor 7. Now, I kind of like doing the bar chord. I don't even think he does it. I think what he does is he bars 1, 2, 3, 4 right here and mutes this string. Now, you can do it with the thumb. Now, disclosure, I don't play with my thumb. But you can definitely do it with your thumb if that's something you're used to. You can do that way. The way I do it is I just bring my pointer finger or my middle finger over and just have the middle or the pointer mute that A string. All right, and also we don't want to hit that high string when we're playing this. So, and then we drop that down 1 fret right here, or 2 frets. Sorry, play the same thing. All right, so we're basically going to, these 3 strings, 2, 3, and 4, are going to be barred. This one's muted, and then this one's played up here. All right, now, so let me just kind of take you through just that part. Oh, one more thing. Wait, this is the intro, so let me do one last chord. So after you do the last that last one here, all right, you can do this, and this is C major 7, or it's an A minor 9. I don't know which one it is. It's one of the two, but the way it's played is you're going to bar right here. Okay, these 1, 2 string 2, 3, and 4, and then the little finger, which is a good one to put, is over here on the 7th fret, and then it's just sort of a roll, just like that. And that's how that ends. So let me take it slow. I'll play this whole intro for you. So if you get this one, you're 25% of the way there. All right, so it's like this. Down. There we go. So a couple of things here that you can do to make things a little bit easier. There's a couple ways of playing these chords. This A minor 7, you can actually just forego doing it this way. If you want to go from this B minor 7, and then just drop your pointer finger right here on the 5th fret, and you're going to bar 2, 3, and 4 on the strings. You're going to use this open A and put the little finger here. I'm sorry, before that, sorry. And that way, when you play that C major 7 or A minor 9, whichever one you want to call it, it's going to be a lot easier to play that. But you will have to change here, which shouldn't be too bad if you work on it. All right, notice I had to bring my thumb up here to mute that E. It's pretty easy to do that, to mess it up. Okay, and that's what I'm doing. That's why the thumb came out there. So that's another way you can play that A minor 7. Now, I've seen him play live. I watched some of the YouTube video. He actually still plays it like this, and sometimes I've seen him play it like this. Take your pick. Whichever works for you, whichever is easier. It's the same chord. That's the beauty of guitar. Sometimes you can play the same chord 2 or 3 different ways. There's always more than one way to skin a cat here. And so that is the intro to the song. Now, the verse is going to kind of follow a lot of those chords. Not all. There's going to be some that we're going to add. But the strum pattern is going to remain the same now throughout the verse, throughout the pre-chorus, which is coming up, and then throughout the chorus. All right, so let's get down to the verse. All right, and let me just give you the, let's just show you the tab here real quick. So here's your verse right here, and we're going to play now. This G over D is that first chord that we did. This is the D at 11. That's the second one, as you can tell, just open strings. These may be fancy names to you, some of these, but don't worry about it. Sometimes you see these really fancy names, especially if you're a beginner and you're playing, and you discover that these really are easier to play than they look. So this G over D, then you've got this D at 11. That's that second chord I did. This is that third chord I did where I did all those up strums. Well, we're going to show here that we don't do that. We play the normal way. There's one chord we're going to transition. I'll show you that. And then we sit on the C add 9. That was over on the 3rd fret that we were really quick on. We're going to sit on it. And then we got a new chord here, F9 over C right here. All right. So I'll show you how to play this one. All right. So this is the tab. Again, like I said, it's in the tab library, but I just want to give you a quick peek at that right here. All right. So now let's switch the screen. And if I can get that over, there we go. All right. So the verse, after we play this part, all right, after we play this part, then you're going to go to the verse. Now the verse starts exactly like the intro. We're going to go back to this first chord up here on the 12th fret, and then down to the next chord, just like we did before, and then this chord here, and then you're going to repeat it. All right, so what we're doing here is we're going to this D. It's D at 1105. It's a crazy name, but it's easier to play. So we play this pattern one time, and we play that pattern again, except at the very end, we don't do an up strum, we do a down strum, and it's this chord. What it's doing is it's transitioning to the next thing. So it's like this. All right, take that chord, and then you drop it over here. And then this is that C add 9. We did this earlier. Two strumming patterns. So there's two strumming patterns that you're going to do in there. All right, so cool. All right, so then we're going to jump up here to this F9 over C. Dear Lord, what is that? Okay, so I've watched him play it. This is really tough to do. Your fingers are all bunched up. And what you're going to do is you're going to bar strings 1, 2, and 3 on the 8th fret. All right, you can use your little finger or your ring finger, whatever suits your fancy. Then you're going to put, see, how does he do that? Oh, yeah, right. And then he puts the pointer finger here on the 7th fret on the D string, and then you take these two fingers and you put those on the 8th fret. So you got all these fingers on the 8th fret except for this pointer finger. Now there's an easier way around that. I don't think you need to go through all this. You still have to play this chord, but I would prefer to do it this way, where I'm barring with my ring finger on 1, 2, and 3, and then I do my pointer finger right here on the 7th fret on D, and then I just bring the middle finger over on the 8th fret lowest string and just mute that A string. All right, or the 5th string. All right, and that's an F9 over C. All right, because an F9 would be this chord, but we're taking the C and we want to hear that C, the low C. All right, and that's two strums. All right, so putting that verse together, here we go. It's very similar to the intro, except how it ends up. So it's going to be. And that repeats. All right, now from there, we're going to go to the pre-chorus. All right, so we've gotten this far. So let me show you if you're learning this. And we always like to learn in sections. If you're just brand new or you're just trying to grasp a lot of this stuff in the beginning, is just learn this in sections. So you learn the intro. When you learn the intro, you want to learn the verse separately, maybe the pre-chorus. But you'll also, as you going through this, as you can see already, that there's a lot of similar patterns. That's kind of the beauty of songs like this, right? Is that it's really in their simplicity. It sounds complicated, but it's actually a little simpler than what it may sound like. So, like for example, the intro. Sorry. All right, there's your intro with me, of course, screwing it up. And then verse. Okay, now we're going to go to the pre-chorus. And no hesitate. All right, we're going to go to that part, which is the pre-chorus. And let me see here. Show you the tab real quick. All right, so here's your tab, which has got the pre-chorus right here. All right, so we're going to play a B minor 7. We did that earlier. We're going to play it that same way. We did that earlier in the beginning, which was right here. Okay, this is the intro. So we're going to repeat that, play 2 strumming patterns with that. And then we're going to go play with an E7. I'll show you that in a minute, which will be 2 strumming patterns. A minor 7, which we did earlier, but we're going to play it this way here with the finger on the lower string. And I'll show you that in a second too. And then we have this D7. So, and 2 strumming patterns for each of those 4 chords. All right, got that. So again, it's in the 16 corner tab library. Just click it down below to grab that. Okay, so now what we want to do is show you how to play. So the B minor 7, again, we can probably, I think, might work best with the little finger. You might like the ring finger. I'm going to use the little finger. We want to primarily hit 2, 3, and 4 on the 7th fret. Actually, yeah. Look here, see what I'm doing. And then, I don't know, I take the middle finger, or you can do the pointer finger, whichever one, on the lowest string. And then you simply just mute that A string. And you really don't want to even hit this high string. If you hit it, it's not the end of the world. But try and aim to not hit that, all right? So you're going to play that 2 strumming patterns. All right, and then we're going to play an E7. An E7 looks just like this. All right, kind of looks like that. It looks like that C chord. Remember we did that, if you do a C chord, those of you probably know that. And if you wanted to play a C7, you would have put this little finger right here on the G string, on the same fret that the ring finger's on. Well, this here is a movable chord, and this note right here names the chord. This is a C. Well, we want to play an E7, so we want to go up here and find that E. There's an E right here, so you better know your notes on the guitar, and that's an E7. So you're going to go from this chord here all right, there's your E7. And then we're going to repeat that same type of pattern, only we're going to be 2 frets down. Here's your A minor 7. Looks exactly the same as this one. And then we're going to play a D7, which looks just like this one here, right? Except now we want to find the D. The D's right here. So putting that all together, 2 strumming patterns, each of the 4 chords. So you got B minor 7, E7, A minor 7, E7. All right, and that's really all that is, just those 4 chords, 2 strumming patterns each. It can get a little bit crunchy here, a little bit tight. If you're playing these bar chords for the first time, you're going to have to use your fingers here. So again, like I said, you can use the ring if you want, if that's better. I personally like the little finger, and either using the pointer or the middle finger for that bass note. And then you switch over to this chord here, and then over here, switch over to the 7 chord. All right, so it's going to take a little practice. If this is a little bit tough for you, that transition, a lot of times what I tell people to do is to just put the pick down and just go through your left hand motion, just like I'm doing here. You're not strumming, you're working out the transition so that you're building that muscle memory so that you get there, right? So that you can play that chord. And here and then here. All right, just keep doing that, and then you add your strum later and see how it sounds. All right, so we've covered 3 out of the 4 sections. So we've done the intro, the verse, and the pre-chorus. Now we're going to close out with the chorus, and good news, this is probably the easiest part of the whole song. And right here, the chorus is just 4 chords. These are your standard cowboy chords. There's a G, there's a D, there's an A minor 7, and you got a C. Wait, right there. So you got your G, you got your D, your A minor 7, and your C. Okay, so those are your 4 chords: regular G chord, regular D chord, and just 1 strumming pattern for each. And it repeats. I got 4 times. I think at the end of the song it doubles that. But you're going to continue to play it all the way through. And it sounds just like this. Let me go back to my guitar real quick. There we go. All right, and all we're doing here is we're just going to play your G, G minor 7, C. One pattern for each. And you can play that 4 times, and you go right back to the intro. All right, so breaking it down, we got the intro. And I'll tell you what, let me do a split screen here. Nope, not that one. Let's do this one. All right, let me try and get a good angle here so you can see it. There we go. All right, so for the intro, which is right over here, into the verse. So okay, now we're going to go over to the verse. And then we go to the pre-chorus. And then we go right down and play the chorus. G. You go right back to the intro. Okay, and you just take it right through from there. Okay, so that is Baby I Love Your Way on acoustic. Now, this is normally played on a 12 string. And I decided to do it on a 6 string because I'm gathering that many of you don't have a 12 string. It sounds just as good on a 6. I think that if you did the 12 string, it'll sound more like the recordings, so more like the song. So if you got a 12 string, that's what you want to do. You want to grab that and play it. But on the 6 string, sound, as you can tell, it sounds pretty good. So you can just grab this and sit there and strum it. It's a simple strumming pattern. Like I said, it just repeats that strumming pattern with just, like I said, 2 exceptions in there. But it's just same strumming pattern over and over and just moving the chords around. And that's really about it. Just very open, easy feel. The tempo is set at 66 beats per minute. So you might see that over here on the tab. That means 66 beats per minute. So if you want to try this on your own, you want to do it at 66, set your metronome to that, and then go ahead and play it and see how it sounds. And you can work on your timing with that too and see how well you do. It'd be really kind of cool to see how it turns out. All right, so that is it, folks. Well, what do you think? We've returned. I'm back, right? So thank you for your on the live feed here on Facebook and on YouTube. Glad that you were able to show up and check this out. And if you're watching afterwards, again, glad to have you on board. Hopefully you got something out of this. If there's something I missed, something maybe I got wrong even, or something that you like to hear again, or maybe have me a song suggestion for me to do in the future, just leave a comment below, and I'll definitely take a look at it. And if it sounds like a fun thing we all want to do. I'll go ahead and do it. So I'm always open to suggestions. All right. So anyway, I want to thank you again for showing up. Thank you for stopping by the channel. Thank you on Facebook. Thanks to everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. We will be back again next Wednesday at, again, 6 o'clock Central, not 7, 6 o'clock Central. We are mobile here where I'm at. I'm not in my old studio. That's gone. That location has been sold, and we're kind of traveling around a little bit. So I got a makeshift studio here, and so our time zones kind of changed. So I got to kind of keep the central thing going. So 6 o'clock Central is when we'll be on next Wednesday. I got a nice little treat for you on that. Again, also strumming down below, man. Check out the strumming course. At least check out the information, see if it makes sense to you. I think that if you really want to work and improve your strumming skills, that's the way to go. So you want to hit that, and then of course the 16-corner tab library has got this song as well as a myriad of others. So just go ahead and sign up for that, and I'll keep on adding to it as much as I can. Almost, well, it's not every day. It's quite frequently. It's always growing, and you'll have lifetime access to that. All right. So anyway, thanks a lot, and I will see you all the next week. Rock on, everybody.